Welcome into Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Lord. Another fantastic slate, particularly in the SEC. I mean, rivalries, big matchups, unexpected underdogs, everything. Everything you could possibly ask for we have in the SEC. But we're going to start it off with Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, 6-0, number 12 in the, not the college football playoff, but the AP poll rankings. Right in the driver's seat for the ACC. But they are underdogs going to Duke. Sleepy little Duke. Now, this might be, outside of the ACC potential ACC championship game, the only game that Georgia Tech is not favored in. Yep. They have a real good, outside of Georgia, and the ACC schedule.
This is the only one other than Pitt that you get through this, you get through Pitt, you're college football playoff bound regardless of what happens in the ACC championship and against Georgia, in my opinion. Now, of course, those fucking bozos on the board might not think so because little old Georgia Tech isn't as big of a draw as, say, a 2-loss Notre Dame team whose biggest wins are a joke and whose losses are not as good as a Georgia and a Miami. I think that, or at least comparable, a Texas A&M and a Miami. Now
about the same losses.
Right.
Yeah, about the same losses.
And I think, if you're looking at it from a Georgia Tech fan's point of view, this season is going ideally. You get a close loss to Georgia and then a close loss in the ACC. First of all, you have a chance to win both of those games. I don't care who's on the other side of the ball. When you've got Brent Key, Buster Faulkner, and Haynes King and Jamal Haynes, you've got a chance to win every single game. Now, Duke, sleepy. Everyone's going to be on Georgia Tech, and that scares me.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no doubt everyone's going to be on Georgia Tech. And if you watch that Wake Forest game, which anybody that's a Georgia Tech fan watching it, or any of you just watched it, they should have lost the game. I mean, you can go into different games and be like, oh, one play could have decided the game, and someone will be like, oh, we should have won that game. Like LSU, they had a pick six called back, and it was a questionable call. If they have that, they probably beat Ole Miss. But Georgia Tech straight up lost the game. Like, this guy was 5 yards offsides, and they did not call it. I mean, he jumped. It was the worst non-call I've ever seen, and that would have ended the game. They would have needed out, game over. They wouldn't have had a chance to tie, wouldn't have had a chance to go to over. The game was quite literally over. So they literally lost that game. Now, that can be the best thing that ever happened to you. And you got to hope that Georgia Tech, maybe for the first time, sneaking up the rankings, going into sleepy Wake, they got caught off guard. Played probably the worst game of the Brent Key era. And they won. You can say that. Now, hopefully that's a learning lesson going into another Duke team.
Good to learn lessons and wins.
Yeah.
It's much easier.
It's much harder to swallow when you lose 30-0 to the Panthers, right? Yep. It's nice to learn. Everyone's like, oh, that could be the best thing that ever happened.
Speaking of the Falcons, both sides of that coin, Michael Penix learned in a win. I mean, he had a couple of would-be interceptions. We learned it. We learned lessons. He learned lessons, but we still won the football game. Didn't come to bite you back in the ass.
No.
I mean, if I'm Brent Key, I heard him talk about the fact that he's an underdog, and I'd be using that shit. I would be using it. I'd be like, nobody respects you still. After all you've done, best start in Georgia Tech football in 20 years? I don't even know. Since PJ, that's for sure. And nobody respects you. Nobody cares about you. Haynes King, not even on a blip of a Heisman candidate. This is the kind of stuff that should fuel that fire. And I know that he's using it. He should be.
And there are, listen, if you're gambling, and you mentioned it earlier, yes, they're begging you to take Georgia Tech. And in those scenarios, it's typically right to take Duke. Like when it's that obvious, number 12, a Duke team that, yes, they have some talent. Men's solid. Like there was a little bit of hype coming in. Manny Diaz has done a pretty good job keeping that program afloat since Mike Elko left, who was fantastic. Obviously, at Duke has continued that at Texas A&M. Like there's talent. Like there is easily a path for upset, a path for an easy upset. Like if Georgia Tech comes out and plays like they did against Wake, Duke will win this game by double digits. But you're hoping that doesn't happen again. And in these scenarios, I trust the coaches. And I trust the quarterback. And I got Haynes King, who's going to go out there and die on that field for Georgia Tech. And I got Brent Key, who's going to be in his player's ass, making sure They are 100% locked in. Now, just because a coach does it doesn't mean the players are going to respond. They might not take Duke seriously, but I just think they're going to learn a ton from that Wake Forest game. And I like Georgia Tech. I don't know how they're going to do it. Actually, I do. Haynes King's going to rush for 100 yards on 25 carries. They're going to run the ball another 150 yards on the ground. It's going to be a close game. Menz is going to make some plays, but at the end of the day, Haynes King and Buster Faulkner have a few tricks up their sleeves, and toughness this team has to win the game.
Georgia Tech needs just a couple of plays on defense, and they'll win the game. Because offensively, they'll be fine. Just need to make a couple of plays defensively. Same exact game in the SEC, LSU and Vandy. Yeah. They're begging you to take the Tigers. They are begging you.
I think there's a little bit, and we can,
just from the gambling perspective.
We can transition into the SEC because that's where we're going next, and we can start with LSU and Vandy because it is a similar line where people would look and be, and you heard it. I think there's a ton more people, and if you go on social media or you go to anybody picking these games and see who they're picking, most people are picking Vandy. Like most people,
really?
Yes. So there's a lot more people that think Vandy is legitimately better than LSU than I think Duke is better than Georgia Tech. I think they're. I mean, you go.
We'll
to
see what
Josh
the public comes.
CBS Sports had their panel with news, whatever his name, whoever the guy who's the dad of the offensive coordinator. But they had 3 picks. Vandy, I think Clay Travis. I mean, significant people. All are on Vandy. So that's a little bit different. And frankly, every other TikTok, and it's probably because I'm on LSU TikTok, is LSU's overrated. LSU's overrated. LSU's overrated. And it's fair. Their offense sucks.
Well, I don't think that's true. I hear a lot about that. LSU is properly rated. Well, I guess, what do you mean overrated? Nobody thinks their offense is good, and nobody thinks their defense is bad. And nobody thinks that Brian Kelly's one of the best coaches in college football. They're exactly rated where they should be. They're a good, not great team who needs a couple of balls to bounce their way to make the college football playoff. Either that or Nuss needs to remember how to fucking throw a football. I mean, one of 2 things has to happen. I don't think anybody in Baton Rouge is pretending this team's a national championship contender. Nobody fucking is. What does overrated mean? They're properly rated. They're a fringe playoff team. That's exactly what they are. Yeah. They could lose 2 games. They could lose 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, and it definitely is the homer in me talking, but to me, I think maybe the 10 ranking is slightly overrated, but the way that people talk about LSU in the national media to me is underrated because all they mention, what everyone wants to talk about is offense. Yeah, the offense is not good, but can we also take a look at the other side of the ball, which has been probably the best defense in the country, top 3-4 without a doubt. Has stopped everyone, has forced turnovers on everyone, made Lenora Sellers look like a little child the other day, forced 5 picks against DJ Lagway, has first rounders all up there, has great players at all 3 levels. Like everyone talks about the LSU offense. Well, guess what? They're 5-1 with the offense playing like absolute shit. The offense can't play much worse. It really can't. Right? Like they can't. They can't. Like Nussmeier's making shitty picks. Like, it's not like there's no facet of the offense that's great. They haven't been able to run the ball. Nussmeier's turning the ball over.
Even when Nuss does throw a good pass, we drop it. Nothing is working. The offensive line fucking sucks.
They turn the ball over in the red zone. Like
Joe Sloan doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
There's not much LSU can do worse than they've been doing.
It's crazy.
They
would be better off on 1, 2, 3 on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down, just throwing up a jump ball to Trey Green then doing whatever the hell they've been doing.
I mean, unless Nuss figures it out,
I don't know how anybody could think that's going to happen.
Yeah, no,
I mean, he's just not good.
Yeah, it's tough. Like you can.
At what point do we go to the backup?
I don't think you can go to the backup as LSU because
have some guts.
I just don't think. I mean, listen, you think Van Buren's the guy? Maybe he is. I don't know. It really depends what they see behind the scene. Like, what do you think what do you think his upside is as a quarterback? Because
he's definitely more athletic.
Yeah, and maybe that could open things up for the running games. Like, there's a case to be made. I just don't think I'm ready to turn on Nuss yet, considering the injury. But, you go out there and play like shit against Vandy, who I know you had your reserves about Vanderbilt. They're a really good football team.
Yeah.
They might not be a national championship contender like LSU, but they're in the same boat. Like, they're defensively much better than any Vandy team we've seen probably in my lifetime. Their offensive line, which I mean, we're really talking about this, is up there with the best offensive line. Like, they are fantastic. And then they have Diego Pavia, who's 42 years old, still playing college football.
Their whole team's 42 years old.
And Clark Lee's a fantastic coach. Like, you give the coaching edge, and they're playing at home. And I don't think the Vandy home crowd is going to be out there. There might be more LSU. Hey, but it's not playing in Death Valley. That's really like, that's what it is. You're not playing in Death Valley, which is obviously a huge advantage for LSU. As an LSU fan, this game scares the shit out of me because they could easily lose this game. And frankly, you lose this game, you're out of the college football playoff. Like, kiss it goodbye.
You'd have to win out.
Yeah, you'd have to win out. But Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and Alabama on your schedule, two of those on the rope. Yeah, after losing to Vandy, you can't beat Vandy. I don't care where the damn.
Well, that's what Brian Kelly does. He's like the better version of Billy Napier. We're in the spin cycle. We're in the spin cycle now. That's what we are. The one hope I do have is this LSU defense, regardless of the athletes on Bama, they bring a little extra oomph when they hit people. And that's no disrespect to Bama, but this LSU defense just has it. Whatever it is, they've got an attitude. They've got guys on that side of the ball that strike fear into opposing quarterbacks. And I like Diego Pavia. He's the second coming of Johnny Manziel on the field. And I love all that. You run around a couple of times too long and wait for number 40 to come and hit you in the side of the ear and just see how many times you want to keep coming back up. I don't think he's a little boy. He's going to give up or anything, but every man has a breaking point. And
Harold Perkins is a little different too.
I mean, you just wait for one of these LSU second-level defenders to put the crown of their helmet in your ear hole. We'll see how he wakes up. Yeah. Because I didn't see any of that against Bama.
Lenora Sellers didn't wake up too well after Saturday. So you got to pick for this game.
No, I don't want
Well,
to.
you have to.
No, I don't want
That's we can't.
the fucking Tigers. What am I going to be, a chump?
That's true.
What am I, a chump?
I'm rolling with the Tigers, and I'm rolling with them to score points.
I wouldn't bet on this game if you gave me the money. I don't know. Give me the money. And I'll bet on it.
I would. Tigers.
LSU money.
LSU's winning the goddamn game. Come on, guys. This is Vanderbilt. I know.
They're still bums.
I know. I've been giving Vanderbilt all the hype all season, but when they play LSU,
it's like that little kid who was never good, and you're like, oh yeah, come on, we believe in you, and then he becomes good, and he gets cocky, and you're like, all right, dude. It was cute at first, and now it's fucking annoying.
Yeah. I don't know. That game does scare the shit out of me. It does scare the shit out of me.
And at noon, too. Could ruin my whole Saturday.
And then right after that, I mean, greatest part about these SEC schedule slates is like we had it this past weekend where it's like noon, 3:30, and it's just, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, we got the noon Vandy LSU game. Then you get the 3:30 Georgia Ole Miss game. Georgia, 7.5-point favorites in this one. 7.5-point favorites in this
Lots of Vegas begging you to take one side or the other. And then the night game, Bama, Tennessee's like that. They're begging you to take Duke. They're begging you to take, I think they're begging you to take LSU. They're begging you to take Ole Miss. They're begging you to take Tennessee. And you know, the brain in me is telling every single one of those, fade every single one of those. Take Duke, take Vandy, take Georgia, take Bama. That's what my gambling brain says, but that's not how football's played.
It's funny because that is what the gambling brain, and I'll go out and say this right now. You do that, you'll go 2-2. I guarantee it. That's like everyone looks at these and they try to do the fade the ball. It's like, oh, that's obviously a rat line, and then Georgia and then Ole Miss like wins straight up, and you're like, oh, well, wait, I'm the rat. I'm the damn rat. This one's another super intriguing one because I think Georgia. Second half, Georgia's the best team in the country. I mean, seriously. They don't give up points. Didn't give up a point to Auburn. Didn't give up a point to Alabama. Gave up a little to Tennessee, but completely changed the game in the second half. Outside of like one long pass, I mean, they were dominant. Just a dominant force. It's the Georgia defense we're expecting. First half, Georgia is like a Teletubby. It's pathetic. It's lifeless. They look confused. They look lost. There's third down conversions. There's no pressure. It's weird. It's weird because it's not what we're used to seeing from a Kirby Smart team. And I don't know where I saw it, but someone kind of brought this up. And when you think about Kirby Smart and how he just drills every aspect into every situation into all these players' brains, and they got a lot to think about. And not every coaching group is the same. And maybe it is just a little bit of, oh, I'm thinking too much. And then by halftime, they're down 10. It's like, well, I just got to go out and play football. And they figure it out. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's a thing. Like we are 3 games into this SEC schedule, and they have been down at halftime in every single game, I think by double digits.
It was like this last year at times where they were down. I don't know. Glenn Schumann, Kirby Smart, I don't know what the hell's going on that side of the ball. But what you can trust is Gunnar Stockton in a big game. It's not like Gunnar Stockton has played bad one time in a big game yet. Golly, what's his name? Coolest name ever. Chambliss.
Trinidad Chambliss, baby.
Chambliss. This is his first big game of the year on the road. Or ever. Yes, he beat LSU, but it was in a high school Hemingway Stadium. This is 95,000 Georgia fans. They know damn well that this game could decide, whether we're going to the SEC championship, whether we're going to the college football playoff, whether we have a bye at the college football playoffs. Everybody's hearing, the murmurs about this Georgia team and how many holes they have. And Ty Simpson, he's the best quarterback in college football. Bama's the best team in college football. Yada, 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 yada. I think that Georgia comes out and makes a statement. Like, they also got embarrassed last year. Embarrassed. A lot of those kids are still here. A lot of them obviously left, but a lot of those kids are still there. They still got some blood in their mouth from last year in Oxford. I think they come out and make a statement.
They're perfectly capable of. I mean, listen, Ole Miss, good team. I don't think they're a great team.
They're not as good as last year.
I think their team last year was much better. I think Lane Kiffin has learned a good bit as a coach, but then you watch him against Washington State, and they're in a 4-quarter game with one of the worst teams in all of FBS football. I mean, just an embarrassing program. And I don't know.
Sharp play by me like that last week. Plus 33.
Yeah, I mean, a solid sandwich play right there with coming off a big win and then the big game this week. I want to sit here and say the same thing that Georgia, because if they play 4 quarters like they play in the second half, they will kill them. They will kill. It's going to be a hornet's nest. There is revenge on the line. Lane Kiffin talks a lot of shit. He's given them all the bulletin board material you could possibly want if you're Kirby Smart. Even called him fat. I mean, are you going to let Lane Kiffin talk about Kirby and call him fat? Come on. I mean, and Lane Kiffin thrives off that, and Kirby thrives off the opposite, and they play into each other, and it's great. It makes for a perfect matchup. I don't think all the extracurricular stuff really matters. I think they both know what they're doing. All it comes down to is Georgia playing like they do in the second half. Because if they get behind Ole Miss, that's a game that's the kind of team I don't think you want to be playing from a behind. That's the team that I don't think you want to find yourself down 14 points at halftime, because Trinidad Chambliss can make plays on third down to extend drives. Lane Kiffin is a wizard offensively. And if he starts smelling blood, the tricks start coming. The alcohol starts flowing a little more freely. Like the trick plays, he's like, oh, I'm in my bag now. Like everything, he stops second guessing whether it's time to go for it. Like you don't want to be down 14 in this game. And frankly, this is what Ole Miss does. Lane Kiffin, you know what he's going to do? He's going to put out his best drive coming out there.
I feel more confident about this game than any other that we're going to talk about today, of Georgia coming out and belt to ass. I feel very confident in it. It just, I look at the line. I think Ole Miss is overvalued. I don't think LSU is very good. So their win over LSU doesn't impress me as it impresses, I guess, some of the other people. Who else have they beaten? I mean, this Ole Miss defense is not even close to what it was last year, particularly the defensive line, which is where they dominated Georgia. Georgia couldn't run the fucking ball to save their life last year. That's not the case this year. Georgia owns that part of the field. This is the traditional Georgia Ole Miss game where like Ole Miss is light in the pants and Georgia's going to bully them. Last year, that wasn't the case. Georgia could fucking run the ball. Their offensive line was a mess. And Ole Miss got NFL guys on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And I mean, like I said, we said it how many different times. If they got into the college football playoff, they could have won a national championship. Unfortunately, all those guys are gone. And like they are not as good this year. I mean, I don't think that. I don't think LSU's that good. So I don't put too much stock into that LSU win, especially at home. This is on the road. We'll see.
I will trust the Bulldogs in this one. Hesitantly. I'm not nearly as confident as you are. I think they should win, but I'm just talking about when you're talking about 7.5 points. I will trust the Bulldogs to win 35-24.
They cover them.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
Hesitantly. Hesitantly, I got them covered.
I got them covering pretty easily. Whatever score you want, low scoring, high scoring, dog fight, cat fight, fat man fight, dogs by 20.
Dogs by 20. Dog by 20. The nightcap, Tennessee, Alabama. Another big spread here.
I don't think this one's going to be as much of a blowout.
I'll tell you what it is going to be. I don't know what the over-under is. Yeah, I don't know what the over-under is, but there will be points scored. I mean, Alabama's defense hasn't been nearly chalked up to what it was. I mean, it's still okay, but it's not.
I thought it was going to be 08 Bama.
Yeah, I thought we were going to be talking about one of the best defenses in the country, and it's not that. We're talking about maybe the fifth, sixth best defense. Now at home, I think you could see a strong performance out of them, but I do think Tennessee, Joey Aguilar, the weapons, Josh Heupel, the success he's had against Alabama. I mean, everything you say about him not having success against Georgia, he's had success against Alabama. I mean, they've won 2 out of 3. And frankly, if you go back a couple of years, they could have won 3 out of 3. They had a damn good chance to beat them in Alabama. So Tennessee's had success. Heupel's had success. They're not going to go in there scared. Joey Aguilar has 2 balls. I mean, big balls. I mean, the guy is going to go out there and sling the rock and not be worried. And he's got the weapons to chuck it down there like Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase, being like, hey, fuck it. He's down it somewhere.
Yep.
So, I see where you're coming from. I think Alabama, though, is going to be able to do whatever the hell they wanted to. I mean, Ty Simpson is unbelievable. He's faced a lot of good defenses already this year and pretty much done what he wanted for at least 3 quarters of the game. He'll have a full 4 quarters to do what he wants to Tennessee's defense because it's not good. They're injured. They've missed corners all season. They've had some guys come back, but still haven't really got their feet. And now they're walking in to an absolute, I call it a hornet's nest. It's going to be
a stadium filled with lawyers and doctors.
I'll tell you what, Alabama gets hyped for 2 games every single year. 2 games, three. Auburn, LSU, and Tennessee. I've been to a million Alabama games in Bryant-Denny Stadium, and a lot of times, and Georgia if they play them there. But those 3 games every single time that they come to town are big games, loud games. And it gets loud in there. It gets rowdy. They hate Tennessee, especially with the success Tennessee's had against them. That place will be rowdy.
I like a high-scoring game, and I like Bama to come through. Ty Simpson's the best player in college football right now. I actually don't even think it's close. I've been seeing Heisman polls or Heisman rankings, and if he's not number 1, I don't know what the fuck you're watching. I mean, this guy is in total control of this Alabama offense. I don't know if it's Grubb or DeBoer or if it's just him. I mean, this is just a completely different Alabama offense, and I get the skill sets are completely different between Milroe and him, but he is playing at a level that number 1 overall pick type of a level. This is not a guy, Alabama fans. I heard some people calling into Sports Talk Radio today. I hate to burst your fucking bubble, Bama fans. This guy's not coming back. He's a top 10 pick right now.
Ty Simpson by the end of the year will be the number 1 overall.
That's what I think. There was Bama fans who were like, even if we don't win, we got Grubb year 2 with Simpson year 2. I was like, buddy, this kid's not coming back.
I saw Mel Kiper's big board and audibly laughed because it's like, this guy's been doing this shit forever. I mean, he sucks at it. He's horrendous at it.
He's funny.
No. I mean, he's on there for entertainment. Absolutely nobody takes Mel Kiper's opinion seriously. I mean, he's on there to go cry about Shedeur Sanders for 4 hours, and us all to point and laugh. He that's why he's on there. He's a good entertainer. He's entertaining and making people laugh with his horrendous opinions for years. I mean, he had Dante Moore Dante Moore is not going number 1 overall.
Well,
stop. And then Fernando Mendoza going number 2. Stop. Everybody stop. I will bet. And if you want to go do this,
he was awful against Indiana.
You'll probably get good odds right now. Ty Simpson is going to be the number 1 pick in the draft.
I agree.
The only other person that's going to be in the conversation, Carson Beck. Get that shit out of here with Dante Moore and Mendoza. Stop it. They're good college quarterbacks, and maybe one of them turns out to be a good pro. Ty Simpson is athletic. He's got a great arm. He's got the right mindset. Very Joe Burrow-esque out there, and he's probably going to win the Heisman.
A catchable ball, like Baker Mayfield. Joe Burrow, you said it. You've got these guys every single year that don't wow you with any single tangible trait. They don't have the Josh Allen rocket arm, but somehow, some way, they can navigate a pocket, They use their head, and they can throw a damn catchable ball. And that's what Ty Simpson does. Ty Simpson can make every throw on the field. Can he throw a 40-yard out on a dot, on a rope, frozen rope? Probably not. But hell, how many of those are you really throwing a game? Like anything that requires even a little bit of touch, Ty Simpson is the best quarterback in college football when it comes to making that throw. Anticipation, reading a defense at this level, and then the touch on the ball is just second to none.
I mean, seriously, go watch that Missouri game if you didn't watch all 4 quarters.
Unbelievable.
Like you can sit there and box score watch Dante Moore against Oklahoma State, or you can go watch an actual NFL level quarterback play against what he did against Missouri.
Dante Moore wasn't even good against Indiana.
I'm talking about the big plays when you needed them. I mean, had one of the most unbelievable 3rd or 4th down plays late in that game to ice it for Bama, where you could only put it in one spot. The guy was draped all over him. Perfect. 20, 25 yards down the field. I mean, he's clutch. He's the prototypical sneaky athletic white quarterback, but he's sneaky athletic. And then go look at what he does at the line of scrimmage, which you just don't see at the college football level often. You don't see a lot of guys have trust. This guy is checking into run plays perfectly. And yeah, you're like, oh, 7-yard run. What's so happy? Dude, that's what NFL people are looking for. I guarantee you he's going number 1 overall. And I would heavily favor him to win the Heisman Trophy. And for that reason, I'm going to be up here picking Alabama to win 95% of weeks. Like maybe there's a week down the road where I'm a little more hesitant. They rematch with Georgia or something like that, or play Ohio State. I'll have those conversations when we get there. But until those games, all these games are going to be tight. Give me the damn best quarterback in the country.
Yeah, I think Tennessee covers, but I think Bama wins. And I know that's against what I said earlier, but
do you have there's also when you're talking about the other slate of games,
USC, Notre Dame.
God, I'm trying stick in the SEC. We will get to that. Stick in the SEC. Is there any one of those teams? I'm talking about Arkansas hosting Texas A&M. I'm talking about Oklahoma,
Mississippi State. Who do they play?
Mississippi State playing Florida.
Oh my God.
Or Oklahoma going to South Carolina. Any of those teams on upset alert? If you had to give me one of those 3,
not A&M. A&M's really fucking good. A&M is really good, and Arkansas is awful. I mean, give me a fucking break.
Well, their offense is disgusting.
Petrino's a fucking joke.
Their offense is disgusting. They can't stop anything.
I think Florida. Mississippi State is not an easy game. Mississippi State's good. I mean, are they a contender in the SEC? No, but I don't want to play them on a game that I got to have it. Billy Napier, he is so fucking dumb. He doesn't even coach. Like, he straight up doesn't fucking coach. He doesn't, like, I don't think he's giving up by any means, because I know he's a competitive guy. He can't get this level without being a competitive guy. But I don't know how he just watches a team every single day for a year and still doesn't know the ins and outs of his own team in terms of like strength and weaknesses. The guy doesn't adjust in game at all. He comes in with one game plan and goes, fuck it. I'm sure it'll work. I'm sure it won't work, but it might. Billy Napier is so gone in a way. And you know what's even more embarrassing about this whole situation is the Florida stuff where they're talking to boosters already and he could be as good. If he's as good as gone this weekend, why even let him come into the weekend? Just fucking fire him.
It's because they have a bye week and then they have Georgia. So that's what a lot of teams do. They wait for that bye week.
Mississippi State wins this weekend.
I think Mississippi State handles Florida. I think
Florida's about to quit.
I've been on the Florida, these upset bandwagon. I picked them against Texas and doubled down against Texas A&M, even though I didn't. In my gut, I kind of knew that was a bad pick, but I went back to the wagon and said, Billy, the Nick Saban, when his back's against the wall. Rumors are that he's gone, win or lose this week. Do his players get up and play for him? No. I don't think so. I think they did that against Texas. They did that again against Texas A&M, and they just got out. They just got out physical. They were just a not as good of a football team go on the road and win that game. And then they have Mississippi State. If this was Georgia coming in, you don't need a coach.
This is a dying football program in a hungry, ascending, out to prove something. Jeff Levy coached football team. They have nothing to lose. Florida is already, they're down for the 10 count right now. All Mississippi State has to do is just go and blow them over. Like, this team is dead. They are Clemson, Dabo Swinney dead.
Yeah.
Mississippi State is coming in and chasing a wounded animal.
I think Mississippi State wins. I also give a puncher's chance to South Carolina. They're bad. They're not a good football. Well, their offensive line is
their whole team is not good.
Their defense is okay.
They are Dylan Stewart and Lenore Sellers.
Yeah. But
who are really good.
You're still walking in to a hostile environment, and Oklahoma is a joke. Like, that's my biggest thing. Oklahoma.
I just don't think
Oklahoma can play.
His face is healthy.
Oklahoma can play. I look at Oklahoma and I think probably is pretty much LSU. Like, offensively, with John Mateer healthy, they weren't good. Like, he was making plays. He was making plays, but like, it was John Mateer. Like, you want to talk? They're essentially South Carolina.
I don't think the Texas losses is. I said this last week that LSU in Texas were going to look way better last weekend than they did.
I don't think that's surprising, but I don't think that's something.
John Mateer was just not healthy. The guy had surgery 2 weeks ago.
I just don't think Oklahoma should have lost to Auburn.
True.
There's nothing about the Oklahoma team so far. Like, they got away with a few wins, and I think they could easily go and beat South Carolina because, like you said, South Carolina's back.
Auburn was, hair away from going up 17-0 on Georgia.
Yeah. No, so
I don't think,
but just think that's Auburn at home, not Auburn on the road.
I'm just saying, though, that we're doing dangerous stuff.
We're doing dangerous stuff, but you can do dangerous stuff in this league because everything is so close. Even the shitty ass South Carolina.
I think South Carolina is fucking bad. I think Shane Beamer is a cheesy. He's a cheese dick. He's almost like a Dabo Swinney who hasn't won anything. I don't. If Lenore Sellers was smart, he would transfer out of there this year. I know that you've got some allegiances to the guy. You might like him, but if you value any of your future at all, you'd get the hell out of Columbia and go to a team that actually has somebody who's going to block for you.
He'll be at LSU next year.
Good. Come on down. Come on down.
I'm with you on A&M, though. A&M,
yeah, they're actually
A&M,
which sucks.
In my opinion, right now is the best team in the SEC. They've looked the best so far. Listen, Marcel Reed. He's not at the elite, but that offense is really good. They've got great receivers, and Elko in that defense is fantastic. And Kyle Field, anybody that has to go there this year is going to be in some trouble. Like, it's just a dangerous place to play, especially with a really, really damn good football and a really, really well coached football team. Everything Texas A&M appears to have been waiting for forever. I hate to say it, but it looks good. It looks good.
They've got more money than God. And it never made sense that
finally
they could never
have the guy.
So I sent you that meme last week or whenever I did. It was like, A&M is what 5-0 or 6. I don't know what they are. And it's like, oh no, how are they going to go 2-4 in the rest of the season to get to Texas?
Well, it would start right here with Arkansas, which I will say.
Don't say it.
No. Like I said, I'm with you on A&M. I think A&M is going to win this game. I'm just saying, every time you look up and watch a Texas A&M Arkansas game, it's like the craziest game you've ever seen. Like
it's in Jerry World, isn't it?
Usually it is.
It's in Jerry World.
Usually it is. So, yeah. So
should be.
Yeah, that's where it usually is played. I don't know if they switched that, but I assume that's where it's going to be played. Every time you go,
Jerry
look up
just needs to go down there and sprinkle some coin.
And I will say, Arkansas, they are capable of making it a crazy game simply from the fact that they can score. Like, outside of that Notre Dame game, they have put up a crap ton of points on everybody. So capable of making it a game, but I'm with you. I think Texas A&M and that defense is going to be too good, and I think they end up walking away. Texas A&M beat Notre Dame. You saw it, Notre Dame. And now that's a scary game to play if you want to play that game.
Notre Dame?
Texas A&M beat Notre Dame, and Notre Dame beat the dog shit. That's what got Pittman fired. It's like 52-13.
I see what you're saying.
That's a dangerous game to play. I don't think it'll be like that.
I'd rather, outside of the LSU game, there's no game that I will be rooting harder for one team unless I gamble on it than USC to beat Notre Dame. I need USC to beat Notre Dame like I need air to breathe. I cannot have those pompous fucks in the college football playoff with their best wins coming over an unranked USC is unranked. Are they still unranked? and an
I think they're ranked now.
Okay, whatever. One ranked win over USC in their 20s. They're definitely in the 20s, and Arkansas. This is so irresponsible to put that team in the college football playoffs. The precedent you are setting of putting a team like that in over a 3-loss SEC team or a 2-loss Georgia Tech team who lost to Georgia, who's probably going to be in the SEC championship, and then an ACC championship, Miami, is so irresponsible. I am rooting for everybody who plays Notre Dame from here on out. Every single team.
See, I couldn't disagree more. I think Notre Dame. Listen, if they lose another game, they're out. They win it. They went out. They're 100% in, and I think they deserve to be in. Frankly, because look at who they lost to. I mean, they lost to Texas A&M, who we just said by 1 point. They fucked up an extra point. They lost by fucking up an extra point. That game should have gone to overtime. And frankly, there were some questionable calls there too, where Notre Dame could have won. And then they lose on the road at Miami, who's the number 2 ranked team in the country, by 3 points. Like those are some pretty goddamn good losses. Sorry, can I use GD and Notre Dame?
Well, I'm Jewish, so you can do whatever you want. So Georgia Tech's hypothetical 10-2 season losses to the same Miami team in the ACC championship, and then a hypothetical Georgia loss on a neutral field.
So those are very similar losses. Depends how they lose those games, because like I just said,
let's call them close.
They're combined 4 points. All right, your resumes are pretty similar. Then you're looking at 2 things. First of all, they are going to outbrand Georgia Tech. That's just going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you're
their best win was at the time Clemson
or USC, I don't know. Like I would say Clemson's better, but I could see the argument from a neutral bystander. Listen, I don't think it's even going to come down to that, because I think you're going to have. I think
they're going to lose.
9.5 point favorites. Game? 9.5 point favorites.
It's in South Bend.
I have to imagine
God,
it's 9.5.
They're 9.5 on the road. Oh my God, there's no way. It's got to be.
I mean, they're banging. And listen, to further why I disagree with you, I think if Notre Dame played Miami or Texas A&M tomorrow, they beat them handedly.
Well, I think that if any team played like if LSU played Ole Miss in a couple of weeks, I think that LSU would have a really good shot. I think that Bama, Georgia, that's a toss-up every single day.
I'm just saying I think Notre Dame has found a little bit more of the defensive identity. They just have. And I think their quarterback,
he's nasty.
He's disgusting. If they had some more high-profile games, like that might be somebody I would have in the conversation with Ty Simpson for best quarterback in the country.
Fuck them.
And I understand. I'm not a Notre Dame guy.
Hate them.
So you got a score for this game? Could be wrong.
I just want USC to win. Win a close one. You don't do literally anything, Lincoln Riley. Everybody has forgotten about you. Nobody is talking about you. The only reason people are talking about you is because they're saying, oh, Michigan sucks. Lincoln Riley even beat them. Do something. Have some fucking pride. If you're going to do anything, make me happy. I mean, your whole fan base hates you. You're turning on, and nobody shows up to your games. USC is forgotten. You're a joke of a program. You're never going to get back to the top of the mountain. Just win one for your boy. Just win one for your boy. That's all.
They're going to hate him a lot more.
Christmas.
Paul Feinbaum's going to have a field day come Monday about firing Lincoln Riley, because Notre Dame's winning this game 49-21. 49.
I wouldn't even say that Paul Feinbaum's getting crazy talking about firing Lincoln Riley, but who's USC going to get that's better?
Listen, you definitely
USC used to be a draw. Now you're a joke.
You can still be a draw at USC, but I'll tell you what, you don't do it this hiring cycle. Not when Florida job's coming up. Not with Penn State. Like even Arkansas and some of those other things are like Virginia Tech, like UCLA. Like, hey, hold your horses. This is not the year. This is not the year where you want to go diving into the coaching pool.
Hey, and maybe the Raiders will fire Pete Carroll after this and get the whole gang back together. Get the whole gang back.
But now
together.
You're speaking my kind of language.
I love
with Belichick as his DC.
Oh God. I bet he gets fired before. I'm stupid. Go ahead.
With Belichick as his DC.
Yep. I'm stupid.
But
I was gonna say I bet he gets fired before the end of the season. This was recorded 3 weeks ago. But yeah, who could have seen that one coming?
That wraps up our college football week 7 or 8 preview. I don't know which week it is. It's going
Slow down.
It's going far too fast. Make sure to hit that subscribe button.